Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday and happy Crocktober. I was watching Mandy, and Mandy did a Crocktober meal. And I thought, well, that looks good. And so I'm going to do a couple myself. So today's a 4-day weekend start. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, it's 4 days for one of the guys here. He takes a 4-day weekend whenever Monday's a holiday. And you may not remember, but Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day is on Monday, October 9th. So no banks, no mail, that kind of thing. You got to keep that in mind. So I'm going to do some homemade. This is not going to be edible. I'll just take you in the kitchen and show you. Welcome to my channel, by the way. If you're brand new, welcome for the first time. If you're not new, welcome back, friends. All right, here is what I'm doing for my first day of Crocktober. I'm going to be making the scent of Crocktober apple pie in a crock pot. It's not edible. This is actually a potpourri made of 100% natural from your kitchen edible things. You're gonna need, you're gonna need whatever you want to put in this. I'm using my small crock pot. I used a big one for, family meals. So I've got 4 cups of water, and here I've got the spices lined up. I have cinnamon sticks, cinnamon powder, ginger, nutmeg, cloves, and clove powder. What do you call it? You don't call it clove powder. You call it ground cloves. I'm so silly. Anyway, all of these things are so aromatic, and I used my older spices for this. Don't crack open a new bottle unless you feel like you want to, but the more spice you put into this, the more it's going to give you, the aroma of fall. So I've already got one older apple chopped up in here. Seeds, stems, does not matter. You're not eating it. I've got one more apple here that I'm going to chop up and throw it in, and then I'll show you that. I have a last minute decision here to put in a whole nutmeg because I won't use this many nutmeg in 10 years. So I can spare this one. They look just like acorns to me. They smell better though. I keep thinking of things I should add. Just a splash of maple. Now you can go ahead and keep this for, the next day. Just turn it off when you're done with it. It'll cool down. Start it back up the next day because it'll have, still a lot of scent left in it. There we go. So this is just, like I said, 2 of the older, small, like they came in a bag, real small Granny Smith. I didn't use the Granny Smith that are larger. You want to use your older, fixing to go bad, produce for these kind of things. You could also use any scent. You could use orange peels, pear pieces, just anything you can think of that you would like to add. Go out, and if you've got an apple tree and you got some stuff on the ground that you only usually give to, the wildlife or the, cattle or whatever, you can go ahead and use it for this. I'm laughing because I remember the midwife that I used to work for. Her husband, they live right down the road. Her husband, and still does to this day, and he's in his 90s, has 2 or 3 cow on the property every year. And then every year they dispatch them and they give the meat to themselves and to their family who also live on the property in separate houses. Anyway, they had an apple tree, still do, in the front yard of the property along the road, and he would go out there and gather all the ones that fell off the tree, and he would I'm going to add this water. I think the smaller you make your pieces of fruit, the better, because it tends to just make more scent if it's smaller, faster. Anyway, every year he'd go out and he'd gather up these apples and he'd throw them over the fence, and his cows all know him and everything every year because it's just a few of them, 2 or 3, and he's the only one that took care of them. So he'd go over there and he'd pop them a few apples over the fence, and they would come running, and they would like it so much they'd make little pigs of themselves and eat them as fast as they could. Well, when it's October, the cows that you have are either ready to be taken care of, dispatched, or they're new. And I think this year I know they were older, because he was going to have them dispatched. There's a local, been here since the 60s, butcher shop called Farmer George. And Farmer George will come out to your property if you have cattle, of course. You're not going to bring them in. And they will bring their truck and they will do the thing and then take the pieces back and wrap it. I'm sorry if this bothers anybody. Anyway, one of the cows got choked bad on an apple and started not being able to breathe. And so they had to dispatch it right there on the spot. And then Farmer George came and finished the job. And I know that doesn't sound funny, but they were going to be, used for the family for their protein for the winter anyway. And I guess they're boys, died a happy, existence he had there on the farm. No, they have to be girls, don't they? I never paid much attention to them. They wouldn't come running to me. They'd come running to him. So their dog, however, would come running to me. So anyway, I put in the 4 cups of water and 2 of the oldest Granny Smith apples that I had. And then here are my spices. So what I like to do is just dump them all in there. And then I'm in my pajamas. It's first thing in the morning, so this is why you're not seeing anything. Hold on. Okay. I have to wash my hands real good because I touched apples, and if I touch my face after touching apples, I have a problem. Anyway, I get this all mixed in together best as I can. It's cold, so it's not going to mix too much. I did use hot water in this, though, just to give it a head start. Now I will let's turn you around. These things have a short cord, I guess, for safety. I'm going to plug it in and put my lid on it. And I'm going to turn it on. So I'm going with high first. Did I turn it to high? I turned it to warm. Oops, one up. Turn it to high first, and then after it comes to a simmer, I'll turn it down to warm, take the lid off, and it'll simmer all day. It adds moisture to the air. It adds scent to the air. I love everything about doing this in the fall. You got 2 lights. You got the light that's right above you and the ring light. I'm so professional. Anyway, I'm going to twist this back a little bit so that it brings up the slack and nobody comes by here and hits it with their arm or something and knocks it down. I can do this because my husband's gone for the day. He won't be home until later this evening, like later, and probably 8 or 9. And so it won't bother him. He's very scent reactive to anything that is strong. And this is a stronger scent. I'm hoping it smells like apple pie. Anyway, I'll stop babbling. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope you didn't mind my cow story. You had to be there. It was funny. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.